Okay, people, let's have a look at this. Okay, I'm going to brainstorm. I'm going to use a different color, and let's have some brainstorming going on here. Okay, now let's look at this. If you think about this carefully, what is D1? Well, this angle here is 90 degrees. So this must be 40. Why? Because there's an angle in the semicircle, so that helps us there. So let's write that down quickly. So we're going to write down number A. Let's go here, number A. Okay, so we can say, look, D1 plus D2 is in fact 90 degrees. Angle in the half circle or semicircle. But what do we know about D2 is 50? So that's great. So then if you think about it, but D2 is equal to 50 degrees, that's given. So what must D1 be? D1 must then logically be 40 degrees. So let's mark it in there. We've got it there, and that's great. Okay, now M1. Well, that's classic. Look at this. Look at this arc EF. There's an arc EF subtends an angle at the center and an angle at the circumference. So M1 is double D1. So M1 must be, if we think about it, what's that going to be? I'm just going to remove those arrows for some space. Here we go. We've got M1 being 80 degrees. It's double. So here we go. So we can say that M1 in number B here, M1 is equal to 80 degrees. Angle at the center is equal to 2 times the angle at the circle circumference there. So M1 is 80. Great. So we've got that. We've marked it off there, and we've got it. So we've sorted D1 and M1. What about F2? What about F2? Well, where's F2? It's down here. Now, this is interesting. If you remember from grade 11, these are radii. They equal. So logically, the other two must add up to 180 degrees, but two equal angles. So if you think of that as 80, what are the remaining two bits here? They must be 100. So each of those would have to be 50. So F2's got to then be 50. Okay, well, if you think about it, another way you could do it, if you think of this bow tie here, let me move this die, the circle up here. If that's 50, look at this here. You could also say if you look at arc GF, it's subtending equal angles. So in other words, D2 is E2. So I think it's even going to be cooler to say this. Have a look here at number C. So if we look at number C, we can say that angle E2 is 50. And the reason for that is angles in same segment, or I like the one with the arc E2 is equal to 50. That is angles in the same segment. You can go angles in same segment, or you can use the angles in same segment, or you can use the fact that an arc subtends equal angles, and that would be E2 there. We could say arc GF subtends equal angles. Let's write that down. Arc GF subtends or forms equal angles. All grade 11 stuff. Okay, now if E2 is going to be 50, then logically F2 must be 50, because that's an isosceles triangle. So we can say, okay, fine, F2 is going to be equal to 50 degrees. Angles opposite the equal sides. Some people even use the word radii. Okay, the equal radii there. That's it. So let's have a look at number D. So we've got all that now. It says we've done C. D says, what is angle G? Well, that's very easy. Think about that. If this is going to be 60 degrees, if you look at this, in other words, this angle is going to be 60 degrees because this is 60 degrees. There's an angle in the same segment. Look at that. So angle G is going to be angles in the same segment there. You see, so F1 plus F2 is equal to G. So if you look at this carefully, we can say in D that clearly angle G is F1 plus F2, which of course is going to be F1 is what? That's 10 plus 50 gives you 60. And again, the reason, angles, I'm just going to abbreviate that to angles there, angles in the same segment, or you can look for the equal arcs. Okay, which is cool. So that's D, and then E is E1. Well, let's have a look. Where is E1? There. Well, E1 is over here, but that's easy if you think about it. That's 90 in this triangle, that's 60. So if that's 90 plus 60 is 150, then this has got to be 30 degrees from the sum of the angles of a triangle. There we go. So number E, we can say that if you look at this, D1 plus D2 plus G plus E1 is 180 degrees. Why is that? Sum of the angles of a triangle. But D1 plus D2, of course, is 90, plus angle G we've already worked out to be 60, plus E1 is 180, so logically E1 must be 30 degrees to make up the 180 there. And there we go, guys. This is a bit of practice from, I hope you got all of these angles right, and we're just simply using the grade 11, 10 and probably 9 theorems there, just to recap that. Okay, so we've done E1. Alright, now stay with us, because in the next lesson we're going to look at tangents to curves practice, and then go into some other, what we call riders. So stay with us.